I say what? Ho, this is Brian. Call me going by the seat of my pants tonight, Gardner. Coming to you from Ramble on Towers in scenic Hesper, Ontario, and you are listening to Ramble on Radio episode number 62. Ramble on Radio is the only Led Zeppelin podcast on this or any other known internets. And be sure to check us out on iTunes, Ramble on Radio at iTunes. So you can download, you can subscribe. And if you do this, if you subscribe, be sure to leave a review, drop a couple of stars, a star, 3 stars, 5 stars, whatever you want to do. And it just kind of helps position the podcast within the iTunes framework. The same goes at Spreaker. That's SPREAKER.com. You can listen to the podcast there and follow Ramble on Radio. And by doing so, again, you help position it in a higher spot. Gets it in front of more people. And then on YouTube. Now, up until now, it's been I Am Brian Dammit. We just drop it. Spreaker basically just puts the audio on I Am Brian Dammit. Tonight, I am actually recording the whole thing on a separate computer. This will be a one-off only. I happen to have the computer sitting in front of me. It's my dad's. It's brand new. And it's... I'm basically testing the video recording. I'm going to throw it up on Ramble on Radio. Go to iTunes YouTube/Ramble on Radio. And it'll be up there in the next couple of days. And from here on in, I'm actually going to try and either record or at least do 5 or 10 minutes so I can kind of do some different stuff that way. And give me 1 second, you people there on YouTube, because I got to do a little something here. You'll see I'm putting the headphones on. I gotta check. The way I did it, I just gotta make sure everything's running here. And we're off and running, and I can hear my own voice, and that's what I needed to do. I needed to check. So if you're watching on YouTube, you saw me shut this thing off, give it a test, put the old headphones on, and now I've got the headphones on. I can actually hear the sound of my voice, which won't last long. I always lose the headphones once I know things are running. Because sometimes the microphone makes noises that I'm not expecting it to make, and it turns out they don't end up in the final edit. But it crosses me up in here, and I start talking about, my microphone's doing something funny, and it turns out it's not doing anything funny that you would know, just that I would know. So I have a tendency to check it out and then move on. So, but it sounds good in these ears, as good as this probably ever sounds. So, what's new, Led Zeppelin fans? Is there anything new? What could possibly be new? This was the week we've been waiting for. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to spin around and show you. I got my brand new 8 tracks. Led Zeppelin 1, the deluxe edition. You guys think I'm kidding about this stuff, don't you? Led Zeppelin 2, that's just a regular. You can see it's a brown cover. Led Zeppelin 3, got my 8 tracks. Nah. I actually... and I do have the albums with me, so we'll put them up as we go, but they're not the new stuff. They're old albums. What I do have is I'm on iTunes with it, and you can see my iPod there. There's 1, the deluxe edition. 2, I think it's going to look a little bad. Put that right in front of the camera, right? Oh, man, that's a lot. It looks like crap on the thing, but there you go. And 3. Deluxe editions. 1, 2, 3. I bought them. I downloaded them this morning, and I have listened to them. I found they started. This is the Tuesday. This is the day they were released. This is Tuesday, and I wanted to do a quick one a quick podcast on the day of, really to give, instead of going into detail about what this is, what that is. I wanted to do a quick impression. And then later on, we'll go back to, we'll do each album one at a time the next 3 weeks. And we'll look in detail at the album itself, the time it was recorded, its impact, and I'll talk about how I feel about each album separately, and then we'll talk about the new material. But I am, like, as I say, I'm on iTunes with this. So I don't have an LP version of it yet. I don't have a CD version. I didn't even get the high def downloads, just iTunes. So from a quality standpoint, I can only tell you that it sounds pretty good. but how, I'm hearing that the vinyl sounds great. Really spaced, really nice. But I don't have that. I as of this stage, I don't have that for you. Now, probably will in the next couple of weeks. And I will discuss that as it comes up too. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that's all going to fall, but I wanted to make sure I got it, so I got it on iTunes, and then I can kind of fuss around with what am I getting down the road. And I'll like I say, I'll give you my impressions later. So they started hitting. There was a report of one of the store in Ohio actually had these things out last Friday, and then Friday, Saturday we started hearing about Amazon deliveries were hitting people's houses. Dave Lewis had a video up on Saturday. His 3 box sets from Amazon UK arrived at his house on Saturday, and he did a video of, or a bunch of pictures of him opening them up. He made a whole big production out of it. So by Saturday, they were also MP3 files were on the internet. As were FLAC files. There were all sorts of different types, but I hit the MP3 files. I got them. I downloaded those puppies. And the truth is, they were lousy. But like, if you're going to, I was kind of listening to them on Monday going, boy, some of this stuff doesn't sound very good. But I didn't listen to the actual, I'm listening to the bonus video. I didn't care about the other stuff. I've heard that before. I have the mastered for iTunes, which is supposed to be the same files. I'll get to that story. So what we have is, so I decided I wanted to listen to so that's what I did. And the quality, it was tinny sounding. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good MP3 at all. But I listened to it all, and I was kind of, this stuff's okay. And then, kind of over the weekend and Monday at work, I listened to it a lot. Tuesday, like I said, they came in through the night. And so I got up to go to work this morning and had to download them all. So while I'm in the shower, I got my computer downloading away. And I got most of it downloaded. Certainly got it synced onto my iPod before I went to work. I didn't have all of the first album on. I only had 3 songs, I think, from the first album. In terms of the bonus material, it had all the other stuff. So I probably should have set it up to download but anyway, that's not a big production. But it gave me a chance to listen anyway to 2 and 3 of the bonus material in depth. 3 blew me away. The quality was so much better now than it was on this MP3s I downloaded. It was so much better. It really, and I almost, I was listening to this. I've been listening to Since I've Been Loving You. I actually cut files off of the YouTube video from Paris, and I put I downloaded the YouTube video and put it into GarageBand and cut it up into tracks so I could listen to Since I've Been Loving You and stuff like that. And I was kind of, that's all right. But again, it's a streamed video, and it's the same kind of thing with these MP3s. They weren't very good quality. When I got the good quality Since I've Been Loving You in my headphones, wow, blew me away. Just so good. The same applied to Gallows Pole. Blew me away. Such a good quality, such a good sounding. I very much liked the Gallows Pole. Got real energy to it just in that rhythm section. So I kind of, my impression changed today from what it was yesterday, the day before. That's, I guess, the bottom line. And although when these first came out and you looked at what was on, you thought, okay, I'm excited about one. It's a new live gig, basically. Not that's not been available previously, but it was nice that we finally had. It was going to be a good quality. And at the end of the day, this may not be the best quality gig. And not in terms of the performance. The performance is pretty standard for 69, which is to say, they're hot, they're on fire, they're rolling along, and there's lots of mistakes, and there's lots of Robert Plant still. By that stage, Robert Plant still. He's not matured. He needs to calm down. He needs to learn to calm down a bit as a singer, And he hadn't yet by late 69. I think by around 71 he had. And got better control over his voice. But by 69, so he's screechy at times. He's way out there sometimes. Same goes for Page. Page is flying. The fingers are just flying, which means, sometimes he's flying in the wrong spot. Sometimes. So that's pretty standard for the time. They were a great live band at the time. They were clearly having a good night. But there are moments when you go, ooh. And there's a few things about that. But from a sound quality standpoint, it really isn't much better than a bootleg. It's really not a great sound quality still. It is, I'm afraid, what it is. I'm not in the Dungeon Studio. For those on the YouTube, I'm not on the Dungeon Studio today. I'm in the what should we call this? The palatial boudoir, which has a slight office nook in it, and I'm in the office nook, which means I'm looking out the window at the people walking past. So people on YouTube watching this just saw me as two soccer moms just went strolling past at an exercise pace. How's that? So Robert Plant would look, I'll look. That's all I gotta say. So the first, but it's a good concert, and it sounds good, and I'm glad to have it. I'm glad to, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting the LP of the first deluxe edition, so I can get this concert on little round circle-y things that spin at 33 RPM, and give it a really good proper listen and have it in the collection. 3 is excellent. 3, they've got some stuff off of 3. A new version of That's the Way, a new version of Gallows Pole, which I mentioned, a new version of Since I've Been Loving You, Jennings Farm Blues, and they call it Bathroom. Is that what they call it? Let me look this up real fast. Bathroom Sound, which is really out on the tiles, the instrumental. Also has Keys to the Highway on it, and Celebration Day alternate mixes, and we've talked before about Immigration Song. So the disc 2, the deluxe edition of the third album, is very, very good. I could live without Friends, no vocal. I could live without Jennings Farm Blues, actually, which we heard part of, with no vocal. Same with the stuff we heard in the intro. I could actually live without. Out on the Tiles, I love it. It's a great song. It's a song that I've always liked. It's one of the first Zeppelin songs I really got into. But without the vocals there, that kind of Robert Plant being all sounding like he's being merry, happy, chippy. It's just the verse, chorus. It's kind of boring. Although it is interesting to listening to Mr. Bonham. He's kind of, as the song goes on, he gets more interesting with what he's doing. He plays it fairly straight up the first time through. The second time, it's getting a bit more of a groove to it. So he's kind of a bit around all over the place, and it's interesting. But it's not that interesting. You listen to it once or twice. Okay, that's done. Same with Jennings Farm Blues. Jennings Farm Blues is interesting because it's basically an electric version of Brown Rar Stomp, but no vocals. So it's, what would you call it? I mean, it's interesting, but it's not something you're going to put on at a party. It's not something you're going to listen to on a regular basis. I don't think, anyway. But that's the two kind of Friends. There's also a no vocal version of Friends, which again, same thing. I think without the vocals, a lot of songs start to, especially in these early Zeppelin days, like when you get into when he starts doing the song remains the same. It was originally intended to be something instrumental, and that may be very interesting if that comes up without the vocals. Um, but a lot of these earlier songs are really still basic songs: verse, chorus, bridge. They did tend to throw in bridges and mix things up a bit in ways that other bands never did. But you know, so the second album. My feeling was when I first saw it, the second album, there was nothing on the second album I felt like I had to have. La La was interesting, just because it was something nobody knew what it was. And other than that, what was on that? And I still feel that way about two. Now, Whole Lot of Love, the rough mix, we've heard it already a few times. And it's interesting and it's good. I like it, but it's been out 5-6 weeks, and other than the first 3 or 4 times I listened to it so I could review it here, I don't know that I've gone back and listened to it again. Well, today. The same goes for like What Is and What Should Never Be, The Heartbreaker, which is a different solo in it, which is interesting. Ramble On's a slightly different mix. That I liked, by the way. Ramble On was, I may listen to that again a few times. But other than that, La La, I introed last week with a solo off La La, by the way, and Daryl contacted me on Twitter and said, very nice intro, appropriate page intro. And it was my impression of it. The thing about that one is it feels like it's 6 or 7 pieces. Like they're working this out and they got 6 or 7 or 8 parts, whatever. And do you think you guys can hear me in there? Do you think you might turn this up? Yeah, we're all right. But it felt like it really needed to be worked on, right? It was they call it a rough mix. It was very rough, I think. Lala would get, would probably be pared back, probably tamed somewhat. There's suddenly activity at my door. I don't know what's going on. But I would tame Lala. I would probably end up killing a few of those parts or something. But the solo was really hot. It was my favorite part of that song, was that solo. So that's why I introed with it last week. So anyway, that's kind of my impression. I still am likely not to get. I guess this is what I'm getting at. Is I'm likely not to get. I originally ordered all 3 box sets on Amazon. And then I slowly started canceling. I slowly canceled the second. And as I was looking at what was in the second, I was thinking I might not even get the LPs or CDs. And then I canceled the first one, and I thought, well, I'll get the 3rd box set. I won't get the 1st box set, but I'll buy it the first in LP. And then I canceled the LP. I thought, you know what? And then I canceled the box set for the 3rd one as well. So I had them all pre-ordered, and I've slowly but surely whittled it down to nothing pre-ordered. And I went with the iTunes to start things off. I had to have the music to listen to, so that just goes without saying. Sorry about that. End of the drink. But and you people on the YouTube can see the drink is Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons. Yes, I'm really in Canada, and yes, we really drink this stuff all the time. There you go. And no Fulkerson's red wine tonight because I ran out of Fulkerson's a long time ago. You guys who are fairly new to the podcast, Fulkerson's make red Zeppelin wine. Made, I think they call it Red Airship now, but they called it Red Zeppelin wine. I was drinking. I was basically bought some bottles and was saving it for when I was recording. So I was recording on the old Fulkerson's Red Zeppelin for a while. And I kept talking about them, and they kept not getting a hold of me to endorse me and sending me free bottles of wine, so I stopped talking about them. So it works. So I'll get the vinyl LP of one, the deluxe edition. For sure, I want that live material. And I probably will still go the box set on 3. But I'm going to hold off and kind of put it on my birthday present list, which is in July. I'm not going to race out and get it. But it means I'm also not going to race out and get the vinyl now, because if I'm thinking the box set somewhere down the road. And then I still don't think. See, I have. I'll show you guys this. I have, from a back in the '70s version of 2. That's fairly good condition. It's not. Can you see it? It's not scratched up like something like my 3 is pretty mucked up and stuff. You can see the cover's still in good shape. I've never listened to this one that much. It's a funny album in my list. Not that I don't like it, but it's one that it's never, ever the one I reach for. It's always, no, I'll listen to 3, now I'll listen to 1, now I'll listen to 4. It never goes to 2. So that's one of the reasons I'm not inclined to want to race out and buy it. I already have this still in very good shape. And I don't listen to it that much anyway. And then nothing in the bonus that blows me away. So I am thinking what I've bought on 2 is probably the end of the 2. Although, in time, I'm going to wind up with it, aren't I? And it's just, I have to get the cool cover or something. I'm going to do it one day. I'm not sure why I should. Other than the instinct to have, the collector's instinct almost. So that's, and like I said, that was, if you've been listening all along, that was always kind of my impression. 1 interested me, 1 I would buy the LPs, 3 I was looking really forward to, 2 I was, not bad. And nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, except I'm really more excited about the 3 stuff than I thought I would be. It's that much better than I thought it would be. And one was the stuff I was really excited about, and maybe I'm a little disappointed. Maybe expectations too high. There's a couple of things about the live set, though. White Summer's 9.5 minutes. It's just too long. It could have been half that, and really, matter of fact, about halfway through, I thought he ended it when I was listening to it. I was sitting outside listening to it, and I thought, oh, that's funny because it's supposed to go into Kashmir right there. He finishes in a spot where in the 75 and 77 shows he would break into Kashmir. And it's funny he didn't go into Kashmir there. And then it goes on for another 4 minutes. I was thinking, I thought it was done. So there's things like that. And, they got a 9-minute Moby Dick, which is 6 to 7 minutes of drum solo. And I'm just not a drum solo guy. I just am not. So anyway, that's so that's my I guess the downside of those. But I'm actually really still enjoying what I've been listening to, and I was going to run out there. We've been fence building and stuff, I was going to run out tonight and actually see what they're on sale. And I just found out my daughter's friend works at HMV, so I'm going to try and get some promo material. I got to bug her. I got to start bugging her. And if I can get a bunch of posters or something, I'll give them away here. But don't bank on it. Don't start phoning me on all hours. You've got them yet? I'll let you know if I get them. Okay, how's that? I will let you know. It's getting dark in here, isn't it? Oh, there you are. I've never seen myself before. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm pinker than I thought I was. And my hair's wild. But I always knew that. I've always had the kind of screw it, I'll let the hair go crazy look. And then we go out and I put on a bow tie. And I think, oh, okay, now I look excellent. I've got the hair everywhere. It is what it is. You get to 50, you give up trying to be, Anyway, so we have our 3 albums. It is exciting. This is the first, I mentioned this last week, this was really the first significant new Led Zeppelin material since 1980. Or is it 81? Did Coda come out in 80 or 81? I think 80, didn't it? What would you... 82, it says here. 82, okay. So we're going to call it 32 years, though. And Coda was underwhelming. It's grown. I think it's grown in stature a bit over the years, and it's certainly grown on me a bit over the years. But there's still a few things that I'm not fussed on. Like another version of "I Can't Quit You, Baby." Doesn't do anything for me, you know. And I wonder where they did the sound, because the sound check version. It doesn't say where. I wonder where they sound checked it. But I mean, here it is on this now. "I Can't Quit You, Babe." I'm sure it's on the BBC's, right? "I Can't Quit You, Baby," right there on the BBC's. So there's nothing overwhelmingly interesting about "I Can't Quit You, Baby," a sound check version of it that wound up on Coda. For instance, right? Bonzo's Mantra is just, that's another, it's a pass, right? It's in the CD world, that's the hit the button jobby, which gives you, "We're Gonna Groove," is all right. "Poor Tom," Walter's Wackles, "On Baby Darlene," "Wearing a Turn" are all good songs. But they get stuck in between some other stuff, and there's no coherence to Coda. So it's one that at the time was underwhelming. And probably a bit how I feel about listening to the deluxe edition of 2 now. Just underwhelming. The computer keeps wanting to... from a sound perspective, these sound really good, by the way. Just on the MP3s alone, it all sounds really clear, really coherent. What was I listening to today? I'm going through, but I had something on. I was bringing on home from 2, and there was something interesting going on in the drums I had never heard before. It sounds almost like a metronome is going, and then it's just going, and it's obviously Bonzo doing some kind of clicky thing going on back there while during the electric riff. Never heard it before, never known. So the sound quality is really clear, really strong. There's the dog going crazy again. Do you hear the dog? Can you hear the dog? And there's been a few of those sorts of moments. And again, in the bonus material, listening to the bonus material today on 3, I was blown away how great. So you can hear the squeaking bass drum pedal on "Since I've Been Loving You," the new version as well as the old version. So they didn't take the squeak out this time. And that's, so it's exciting. It's really, this really is quite exciting. There's new Led Zeppelin material. This is what we do this for, right? And I've been so freaking busy. I got nothing written. The blog kind of sits half empty. And I probably tonight I'll finish. I started a post today, and I started about a dozen posts in the last month that I'd never get finished or I never get posted. I write them at work, and then I get home. They never get made it up because I got so much going on. And I'm telling you, this is 9 o'clock at night. I had dinner 40 minutes ago. It was the first chance I had to eat. And it's like that sometimes when we're in one of those periods. So, but anyway, it's Ramble on Radio is the blog, by the way, rambleonradio.com. I don't think I mentioned that in the intro. But I do try to keep up on the news and reviews, and I am going to post some links. And that's I'm going to end it there. This is a little short one tonight, but it is, again, it's very exciting. We're so happy to have new Led Zeppelin. And we're going to in the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna really see what I'm trying to do tonight is not get into the detail about the albums and not say, oh, I love this, love this about that album. I'm trying to avoid, which leaving me a lot of holes. If you understand what I'm saying, because the next week I want to get into depth about Led Zeppelin 1, what I think of it as an album, what it means to me, and then the new material, and we'll kind of go one by one over the new material, and we'll do that with 2. We'll do that with 3 in the next 3 weeks. So I'm trying to not say something I'm going to say next week. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give you an actual, I love this song is that, that song is this. And I don't want to, so I'm trying to be very general on it, I guess, right now. So let's leave it at that. This is Ramble on Radio, episode 62. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you watch on YouTube. The bedroom is clean enough for you back here. This is Ramble on Radio. Go to iTunes. I'm without a script today. Completely and utterly without a script. That's unusual beyond belief. Go to iTunes. Leave a review. Go to Spreaker to listen. And follow me on Spreaker. Go to YouTube, Ramble on Radio, not I am Brian Dammit, on YouTube. And we'll have this, I'll have this video posted, I hope. And you can see what I'm doing, as well as here. And that's it. Go to rambleonradio.com for your news reviews. Go on over and click, if you're looking to buy this through Amazon, go on over and click on the sidebars. Once you get into the sidebars, once you get into the Amazon site through Ramble on Radio, buy whatever you want. Buy refrigerators, buy stoves, buy microwave ovens, buy bicycles, buy motorbikes, buy cars. And won't cost you anything extra to do it that way, but it would put a little money in the jeans here. And maybe, puts the show on a budget. There's 10 box sets that have to be got over the next little while. So, if you buy them through there, if you order them through there, it allows me to have them here for review, and that sort of thing. And whenever I get a box set, by the way, I'll open it on. I try and save it for an open on air sort of thing, so that we'll make a show of it. Okay. All right. Thank you for listening. You have a good week. I'll see you next week, and have a great week getting all that out. Just do that.